perfect light of God's creation, perfect light of all creation. To have the prayer within the heart in every moment, reflecting in the awareness, thank God I'm not right. Thank God everything that I think is a temporary insanity. Thank God what I have projected into the world is not reality. Thank God that everyone that I have condemned has not been changed. Thank God that all judgments and opinions only hurt in a temporary way, and they only hurt my own self. Thank God there's a way home. Thank God what I have believed and been so adamant to hold on to is smoke and mirrors of illusion, and have no power and have no truth. Imagine this prayer being conveyed to the divine every day and ending with happiness, ending with the happiness that you weren't right. The idea of being right in the world, of knowing something, is so upside down that it isn't recognized as painful. It's recognized within a knowing that likes to give to itself a sense of satisfaction, a sense of having accomplished something by knowing something that you thought you knew. It may be why beloveds are reluctant, so reluctant to enter into the spiritual journey, or want to just pussyfoot around the outside edge, kind of like dipping your toe in the water. Because the determination to be the knower has had a payoff. And even though that payoff is so temporary, so tiny, it's like all addictions. Addictions are by their nature accepted for the momentary high. And there is a high, an ego high, that connects with the perception of knowing. And if you string enough knowings together over and over and over again, you begin to believe that it all makes sense, that to judge and have your own rules makes total sense to the ego. But when you begin to embrace the deeper truth of love itself, and you truly accept sacred teachings, and you accept the mystery of sacred teachings, and that there is a power of creation that will actually take you into deeper teachings. Your string of made up rules and ideas and opinions truly begin to fade in their purpose and in their facts. And if you look honestly, you will see that not one thought that you have made in separation has taken you to a place of peace, harmony, or connection, because it can't. Welcome the awareness. Welcome the awareness that nothing that we have made on our own, thinking that we've come up with something, has any meaning, because it was not part of love. It was not part of creation. And it was not brought by creation into your heart and your mind. There is such a strong wanting to be the maker of the thought that somehow being the maker of the thought scores points somehow. It gives you more worth. But everyone has been trying that for lifetime after lifetime, and it's never brought connection to the divine. It's never brought you to the awareness of love. If we can, in a moment of yes, connect the dots that finally makes the connection of, oh, when I surrender and ask for truth, I'm in a new realm, because the truth will always be given. Why is it that everybody isn't asking for truth all the time? Because the addiction to being the one who thought it is held in the belief that it's going to be a payoff. But once you connect to the wisdom of the divine, once you connect to the peace, to the harmony, to the gentleness, to the kindness, to the honesty, and the doors begin to open of reality, the addiction fades quickly. It's like going from black and white to color. When you're in black and white, you settle and you think, well, this is pretty darn good. Look what I made. Look what I think. And then when you surrender and you open to color, it can be shocking because it's so brilliant. And it isn't separate from you. The brilliance of God, the brilliance of truth, is your own brilliance. You just never got the connection. You never saw the color because there was so much pride in, I know this, that the pride keeps us from seeing the truth. The brilliance of the mind of God, the brilliance of the wisdom of the universe. When the ego tries to compete with that brilliance, it becomes a place of sadness because you are accepting this little morsel. And the divine spirit of love is there waiting with the whole universe for you. And every beloved walks through the same confusion, but doesn't see it as confusion, sees it as, I'm building my identity. The confusion is what wakes you up in the middle of the night. The confusion is the fear that rumbles at impending doom that is believed in. But somehow, for a while, the ego, in its pride and its insanity, convinces that the payoff of the little high of being right in your mind is worth the fear of the impending doom. The impending doom is made up, but it's based on the guilt that the ego distributes for your knowing. And no one who is in that ego place is not somewhere aware within of the pain of separation. Even though the smoke and mirrors are playing their game, even though the illusion seems to be, makes sense, because why? The ego is not going to give you something that doesn't look like it makes sense to you, because then it starts to crack and crumble. But the prayer, thank God I wasn't right. Thank God these thoughts are not the truth. And the honest place is the realization that these thoughts are hell. Not because they're like murderous thoughts. You're not thinking about murdering your neighborhood or anything. It's just not in love. When something occurs, like a neighbor having a different opinion of what they see, and you see your instant reaction, because it's a test, it's an opportunity to see where am I really? When the neighbor gets irritated, do I meet that irritation with fear? Do I meet it with more irritation? Do I ignore them? Do I go over it in my mind and decide how I'm going to strategize to be right and they'll be wrong? Or can you go straight to truth? Thank God I'm not right about what I see next door. Thank God that is not the truth. And then asking for the help to see this with love. How can I serve these beloveds? To take that teaching, to hear, to see the call for love, it's not something that you have in a book or on a piece of paper that is just then put aside. It is something that is alive. Every sacred teaching is part of the life force of God and will bring life and healing to you when you embrace it. It does take courage, because the habit of wanting to retaliate, the habit of the vengeance, the habit of the being unfairly treated, not respected, whatever the mind can come up with, seems realistic, seems logical. The ego wants you to think it's logical, counts on it being logical. But in every single moment of every day, there is an opportunity to learn the truth of love. And there is no greater blessing than that embrace. That you are so loved that every moment is filled with divine teachings that are there for you. A never-ending supply. Because the truth is that the divine love that is the universe only wants you to remember. Love is not playing a game to test you or to try to trip you up or to try to play a game with you so that you make mistakes. That's the ego's job. The truth of love is honest, is straight, is direct, and will take you as deeply as you are willing to go. Be willing, because that's the only purpose of incarnation. To remember, and to be willing to remember, and to be willing to accept the divine teachings that are showing up in every moment. begin your day with thank God I wasn't right. Thank God I'm not right. Thank God I don't know anything. Thank God that these thoughts that I carry can be healed and released. Thank God that the perception that I have of the world isn't reality. And thank God I'm beginning to be able to see truth more clearly because I want to. A defense system is something that everybody develops, and everybody's is a little different according to their own makeup of their own mind. But they're all painful. They're all equally painful. And it takes courage to ask the Holy Spirit to be truthful with you, that you're willing to see clearly what's in the way. And at the same time, it's also to ask the Holy Spirit to show you clearly deeper truth, because that's yours. That is your inheritance. That is your right, because all creation was made for you. All the mysteries of the universe are yours. They're in you, they're through you, you belong with them. And all that the divine is there for is to awaken with your willingness, awaken the truth of your divine self. And you can't wake up. You can't come home on your own. You can't have your own idea of how you're going to orchestrate your own healing. It has to be the power of the universe that is the divine physician that heals all that's in the way. Every moment is the moment of remembering, thank God I wasn't right. Thank God the insanity in this mind is not the truth. There is a place in healing that becomes so magnificent, and you're so happy to look at the mistakes that you made because they're being surrendered and they're being healed. The place of happiness that recognizes, I'm not protecting this anymore. I'm not defending the mistakes that were made in all these lifetimes. I want them all brought to the light, because they mean nothing except that I believed in separation. I don't have to protect my mistakes. If I protect mistakes, I suffer, because that's what they are, is suffering. They're an error of, and the word is ignorance. Ignorance is just a not knowing, being without the awareness that these were just mistakes and that they are not a threat to your identity. Your identity is completely intact. Not the identity you made, but the identity that was created. The light of God is your identity. The purity of God is your identity. The innocence of God is your identity. The power of God is your identity. Every day, a shedding. Every day, an opportunity of cleansing from illusion. Use every moment. Use every minute. And open to the gratitude that this is what these moments are for remembering truth. Imagine that you would have the words to be able to say to someone when they ask you, what is it that you do? And all that comes to you is, I'm returning home. It's my full-time job. Returning home. Remembering love. Probably isn't going to be said verbally, but that's the heart. That's all that there is the journey of returning home. To peace, to harmony, to joy, tranquility, joy. Such a breathtaking being that is within you. Meet it, invite the divine to unravel whatever's been made up. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to protect, nothing to defend. Love is waiting. And in this moment, love is calling, as it always does. Rest the mind in God so that you can hear the sweet whisperings of love. With all the help of love's transformational power, there is no reason to stay in the muck of separation. When I feel this pain inside and I find nowhere to hide, Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. safety of a mother's care. For Jesus it was always there. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. As I move toward the light, defend me from the dark of night. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. 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 Are you asking? Are you entering into that sweet connection that is yours as you let go of what you think you know? You come empty. You come empty with your hand reaching for the divine. And you invite, and you invite, and you invite. You want it. So many beloveds have learned to be so cool, so together. And that coolness, that togetherness has no value. It's a fantasy game that started in the earlier years of incarnation, that you develop an idea that says, I know how I'm going to be finally accepted. I know how I'm finally going to be respected, how people are finally going to see me. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be smart. And I'm going to convey how much I know. Mother, rain your love on me says, I need help. I need help. I keep sabotaging my prayers. I keep sabotaging the healing that is always available because I get in the way. And I block the door because I want to stay cool. I want to stay in charge, commanding that I know the orchestration of how healing should look. We can't know. We cannot know the way of healing. It's not possible. We haven't been there, and the mind that we're using is filled with limitation and the belief of limitation. And all the while, the divine is waiting to take you into the deeper mysteries, into the deeper healing places. Mother, rain your love on me. There's no coolness there. There's no togetherness there. It's really asking, this is what I want. This is what I came here for. This is why I incarnated, is because I believed I was separate. And I don't want to hold this pain anymore. I don't want this sorrow anymore to be in charge. I want your love to rain on me and open my mind, open my heart, and unravel everything that I've made up. and teach me how to let go of the healing that I think I know how it should be, because I can't. I can't know how it should be. But thank God, the power of love has no intention of causing you pain, of causing you sorrow. All of that has come from the mind of separation. And all of the power of love's healing is all benevolent. There's no maliciousness in healing. There's only compassion and love. You've never known that. And when you enter into that for the first time, you're back closer to reality. And you can trust that all of the healing power of love is totally benevolent. Doesn't want anything from you. It doesn't expect anything from you. It doesn't ask you for anything. It doesn't demand anything. It doesn't judge anything. None of that is occurring in healing. So give yourself, Mother, rain your love on me. Use it fully. Use it in every moment, because it's for you. I ask you for your love, Divine Mother. I ask you for the charity of transformation. I ask you, Mother, dear Mother, I ask you for healing. I ask you for your love. Please come here and unravel my insanity. Here in this moment, I surrender and allow that you will heal all that is necessary to heal. I surrender. Apenas por vosso amor, apenas por caridade, a vós te damos louvor, ó Virgem de castidade, apenas por vosso amor, atendo nosso chamado, ajuda-nos, ó cessar, a curar a necessitados, apenas por vosso amor, apenas por caridade, a vós te damos louvor, ó Virgem da Castidade. Divine Mother, this is your mother. The Divine Mother is your mother. The perfection of the divine through the feminine form of love. The Divine Mother is your mother. Return to her arms. Return to the comfort of that truth. And do not allow the mind, the insanity of the mind, to utter the resistance that says, I can't make that connection. That's the ego speaking. I can't make that connection. All you have to do is say yes, and the connection is there. Let it take you, and it will. How does it feel to be a heart? Once a young woman said to me, "How does it feel to be a man?" And I replied, "My dear, I'm not so sure." Then she said, "Well, aren't you a man?" And this time I responded, "I view gender as a beautiful animal that people often take out for a walk on a leash and might enter into some odd contest in hopes of winning a strange prize. My dear, a better question for Hafiz would have been, how does it feel to be a heart? For all I know is love, and I now find my heart infinite and everywhere." That is the healing. To step past what you think you know, male, female, age, all of it, and to realize you are the heart of love. Simple, uncluttered, unconfused, completely here as the light of love itself. It probably seems irreverent or not nice to view gender as a beautiful animal that people often take for a walk on a leash. But when you truly see it through that lens, it starts to make sense. There's nothing evil about gender. It's just not the truth of you. You've worn different costumes. And once you get set on an identity, it becomes the block in the way of love. Was the last lifetime as a man the reality? Was this lifetime as a female the reality? Was the lifetime before that, was that the reality? Before that, was that the reality? You begin to see that what you've grabbed onto and what you're holding on to just is not your friend. It's the block that shields you from seeing the truth. After you surrender your identity, after you truly empty everything and let God strip it away, then it kind of comes back, because you have to walk in the world with it. But you don't believe it anymore. You don't attach to it anymore of all of the ideas of what it means to be male or female. It loses its importance. It loses its identification. Now, whatever form that you're in becomes the expression of love, the expression of all of the attributes of the light that you are. and the freedom is with it. And if somebody said to you, well, you look more like an ice cream cone than you do like a person. Okay, I can be an ice cream cone. Can an ice cream cone express love? I'll be an ice cream cone as long as I can still express love, as long as I can still demonstrate God's light. What does it feel like to be a heart? That will be everyone's question and answer. The friend that is within you is just waiting to be discovered fully, completely. The secret of the friend, besides it being God, which is everything, is that the friend within erases, eliminates, destroys all sense of aloneness, of being separate, of being on your own to have to muddle through anything. The home that you were looking for is within. And the friend is that home. Let it burst through, let it blossom, let it come to its fullness. You're not having to do that. You don't have to think about, how am I going to bring this to fullness? No, that's the divine power of love itself that will bring everything to its fullness. And you'll see everything through that love. And in that, you'll have the thought, why did I fight this? Why did I try to control what I thought I knew when there was just this majesty of love that was waiting to be embraced? Embrace it. Everything in your experience on this earth plane, everything can be endowed with spiritual truth by your choice. It can be brought and endowed with spiritual truth. You bring your love and you accept forgiveness of everything. And the element of forgiveness is that you want forgiveness to touch every element of everything that you've ever thought, of every situation, of every relationship. You want to bring forgiveness of love to it. And you want the Holy Spirit to show you what's in the way, what you made up, that you believed. And you'll feel the compassion. You'll feel the compassion of the divine that is bringing you to a new awareness and a new forgiveness, that you truly forgive everything you made up and every situation that you've held as shameful, as guilty of. This is not God's will for you. free of guilt, free of the shame of the wanting to keep an identity to prove worth that can't be proven. Freedom. That's where you're going, and that's what is waiting for you. Complete freedom. How does it feel to be a heart? Ask the question, because you will receive the answer. You're here purposefully to discover that you are the heart. Completely. I wrote down this teaching because it was so much in alignment with everything. You think you understand the meaning of the events that occur in your life. Now, this is what everybody thinks. Certainly what I thought. I thought I understood all the events that occurred in my life. I thought I got them very clearly figured out. I had them all in their categories. I had them all figured out as far as who was the culprit, who was the enemy, who was worth knowing, who wasn't worth knowing, who had offended me, who had disappointed me, who had abused me, who had ripped me off. I had it all figured out. You think you understand the meaning of the events that occur in your life. Nothing could be further from the truth. Doesn't that statement make your heart leap? Nothing could be further from the truth. You were completely mistaken. Thank God. Nothing could be further from the truth. You don't understand or know the meaning of anything that happens because you impose your own meaning on it. Well, there is the door. That door, you've got the key now, that you have imposed your own meaning on everything that you thought was occurring. And there's the key. This key is like the key for all of humanity to remember love. That all that's being called for is to stop imposing meaning on what you believe is occurring and open to the gift that is available with everything that occurs. Everything that occurs is the opportunity of learning and realizing truth. And in that simple paragraph, that you impose your own meaning on it is the key. Imagine someone in the desert that would find a treasure, and this would be the treasure that would be found. Sacred teachings that could unlock the pain and suffering of humanity. Transmissions of light put into words that actually transform. The ego wants you to take this teaching and see it as an insult. And it uses the voice of judgment, that judgment says, you impose all your own meaning on it. What do you think you're doing? That's the ego's voice. But when you hear that ego's voice in a teaching, you react in a defensive place. That's the norm. That's what we all do in the journey. So it takes great trust. It takes great faith to be able to take a teaching and receive it with the love that it was brought with, because it was brought with love. It is a gift from God and a doorway to your complete remembering. To be aware that you think you understand the meaning of the events that occur in your life. Well, let me enter with the Holy Spirit into that. I haven't looked at that before in that way. That I think I understand everything. Well, yes, I guess I do. I have spent years putting things in their proper place as I thought I knew it. And now, in this divine teaching, I'm realizing that I have to surrender all that I made up about everything so that I can see the true meaning and the truth behind every event. And the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of love, is so powerful that it will show that. It will bring that holy vision to you. It will open you to revelation of truth. It will pour miracles because you're saying, yes, I want to see the truth, and show me how to stop giving meaning, my own meaning, to everything. Show me, please, teach me. And the Spirit of love will teach you. This is the absolute reality. Over and over and over again, I was shown truth. Not because I had a special way of entering that. No, I just wanted to heal. And I wanted my idea of what happened to be false. Thank God I wasn't right. And that there's nothing personal to have to protect. It's giving it all, giving everything into the hands of God. Everything. Absolutely everything. Same teaching. If you wish to understand the meaning of what happens in your life, stop giving it your own meaning. What a gift. Again, if you found this in the desert, these spiritual truths could take you back to reality. If you wish to understand the meaning of what happens in your life, stop giving it your own meaning. It's really, this teaching is saying stop, really stop, and give yourself the space and open to the humility that's willing to say, I could see this differently, and I could see this with peace. Please show me. Show me what's really here. Show me what I have constructed that is in my way. Show me what I've made up. I want to see what I've made up. I don't want to see it because I want to go on a witch hunt. I want to see it so that I can realign with truth that is also being shown. That's what I want. And every time that you say, this is what I want, the wanting is answered. There is nothing in God's love that is playing a game to make you grovel. No, readily given, readily offered. Where is the voice of love? It's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. In every sacred teaching, the voice of love is there. In every sacred chant, the voice of love is there. In every message that you receive, the voice of love is there. It's just opening to it all. And there is no one, absolutely no one, that cannot enter into truth. It would be ridiculously cruel if the divine would say, oh, right, okay, you're my special group. You will get all the reality, and you over here, you're not going to hear anything because you don't deserve it. This is the mind of the ego that is playing games. There is no limitation and no restriction on who can receive truth, who can open to miracles. It's just being available. It's just wanting. This is why the question, what is it that you want, is so powerful, because it certainly called me every time I said that. Every time I said, what do I want? It would take me out of insanity and back into sanity. Because I had to be honest. What did I want? I wanted to remember. I wanted to come home. I wanted to remember love. That's all I had to remember. That's all I had to align with. And the rest was God's power of love. Ask the question, what do I want? And it will raise you up into a vibration of, I truly want to remember. I don't want anything else. I want to remember. I want peace. I want harmony. And that peace and harmony is connected with remembering. And I don't have to worry about how this is going to be orchestrated. The light of love is in charge. Can you deny the ego's fear? It isn't whether you can. You can. You can deny the ego's fear. But it's the willingness to do so. When fear arises in spiritual healing, it is always the ego that is wanting your attention, wanting to distract from truth. Now you can take the fear and you can say, oh, I'm really scared and I don't like how I feel. And you'll keep recycling that, because at some point your true self is going to say, I'm not going through this again. I'm not going in this vicious cycle again of saying yes to healing and then being fearful of what's going to occur. I'm going to take that leap of faith because it's what I truly want. I want to remember. Let the situation be. Every situation, let it be. Let it show you. Feel it fully. Be present in the moment. Don't be afraid of it. Just be present with it. Ask and allow it to teach you why it has come into your awareness. Just ask, why is this here? What is there for me to learn here? Instead of what the fear says is, get me out of here. Get me away from this. But instead, what is this here to teach me? Why have I brought this into my life? What is it that is in my way for love? I'm willing. I'm willing because God is in charge, because God is my refuge. God is my strength. God is my light. God is my creator. God is my life. And I accept that. And everything else is an untangling from a false identity. And I'm willing. When you ask why it's come into your life, come into the center with it and ask, how does this situation help me to learn the truth of love more deeply? Where can I be taken that will teach me to love more deeply? Because that's all that I want. And that's what God continues to offer. What does it ask of me to give that I'm still withholding and not willing to question? Where is my resistance, God? Show me how to let go of resistance, and I will follow. I will follow because it's what I want. Healing is not difficult. Our resistance to it is, but that need not be. It's just about faith. It's about trust, the willingness to surrender all of the pain and the suffering and the bitterness and the resistance from the past. See it for what it is, and truly let it be surrendered. Let your heart come forward and ask the question, how does it feel to be a heart? Because that's what you are. The heart of God, the heart of truth, the heart of light, the heart of existence, the heart of all the universe. One heart, all love.